Hey guys, I'm so excited for this live training. As I was working on it, I was like, I wish I had started earlier so I could put some slides with it because I just think it's that good. So today I'm going to be talking about how to do an email list swap to expand your reach and grow your audience. So if you're catching this live, comment hashtag live. If you're catching the replay, comment hashtag replay. I love when you guys interact throughout. It makes it so much more fun. So if you have questions throughout, of course, comment and let me know, and I'll answer them as we go. Before we get started, if you haven't seen yet, I just launched a new product today. It's the Sugar and Honey Shop Displays Toolkit. So what this is a set of 72 designs that you can use to create decals for your windows or even like wall decals for, this is great for like brick and mortar shop owners. I personally don't have a brick and mortar shop, but I do have an office, and I put one of these decals on my door and I love it. It's the Hello Sunshine one. So there's a 48-hour flash sale going on right now, so it's $25 for the next it's less than 48 hours, but the sale ends Saturday morning at 9. Definitely take advantage of that because after that the price is going up. So okay, let's jump in. So first, I want to go into what is an email swap. So an email swap is when you take over someone else's email list, or actually you swap each other's email list, or you can take over their email list, or they could take over yours, however that works. So I recently did an email swap. If you're on my list, you probably saw this. The wonderful Aaliyah Grummert reached out to me and asked if I'd be interested in doing an email swap or takeover. And she's an email marketing specialist, and she's a very good friend of mine. I immediately said yes because I love her, I know her, she's very trustworthy, and I knew she would do a great job. And also, I know that she has a similar audience to me, so she was the perfect fit. So it could be, with the email swap, it could be one email, it could be a series of emails, whatever you decide that you guys want to do, whatever works for both of you. If the other person doesn't have the capacity to, if you pitch yourself and the other person doesn't have the capacity to provide content for your list, you could, of course, just provide them content to send out. So why is an email list swap a great strategy? So first, email is one of the highest converting marketing tactics that you can use. So this is an easy one here. Second, one of the best ways to grow your audience is to get in front of other audiences. So this is exactly why people do guest blogging, guest podcasting. Let's see, speaking at a summit or conference is the same thing. So this is how you can get in front of other audiences. The next thing is that you're sharing content on the same medium. So because you're already on email, you're sending email, it makes it really easy for people to say, oh yeah, sure, I'll join this other email list as well. The next great thing is that it gives your audience some variety. So instead of hearing just from you all the time, they can hear from a special guest, especially about a topic that you might not have as much expertise in. It works really well to bring in that expert and give your audience a little bit more well-rounded experience on your email list. And finally, this is a really big one. There's a built-in element of social proof here when you do an email swap. If someone's allowing you to take over their email list, that's saying a lot. This rarely happens. Email is a very kind of private place. Your inbox is your inbox, and to allow someone to take over that is a big deal. So when this happens, people know that you trust this person very much and they trust you, so you're vouching for them, and that's a really big element of social proof. You're basically making a referral to your audience. So here's how to do an email swap. First, make a list of people you'd be interested in swapping with. There are a couple of keys here. First, look for people with a similar audience as you, and or who have your ideal audience. This is really, really important because you want to make sure that A, you're bringing the right people onto your email list if they sign up, and B, that your content's going to resonate with them, right? And then second, someone with a bigger, I don't want to put too much emphasis on this because I don't want to get caught up in numbers, but someone with a bigger audience, doing a swap with them just mathematically is going to be more beneficial than someone with a smaller list. But if you're going after quality prospects, it doesn't really matter. They don't need to have a giant list for this to be a good partnership for you. Next, reach out to those people that you're interested in swapping with a well-crafted pitch. That's really important to have a really good pitch when you do this. So in this email, I have a few guidelines. First, make the offer that you want to do a swap or takeover. Then share the type of people that are on your list so they can decide if your audience is compatible. If you have a good sized list, it would not hurt to put that number there so they can see, oh yeah, this is going to be beneficial for me. Next, share content ideas and sample articles. This is really, really helpful. You can do something like this title based on this blog post so they can get an idea of how you write and what your content will be about. And then very clearly ask for a response. Make a clear call to action. Ask if this is something that they'd be interested in. And I want to mention that with your pitch, make it really easy. People are so busy. Don't make them have to work to decide if this is a good decision for them. When you lay your pitch out exactly like I've described, you make it really easy for people to make this decision. So if you're interested, I actually have a template for this pitch ready to share with you. If you're interested, go ahead and DM me and I will send it to you. I've also included a sample of the emails that Aaliyah and I sent to each other so you can see kind of how this all works together. So go ahead and DM me if you're interested in that. Okay, next, once you've agreed and set a deadline on when you want each other's articles, or sorry, I misspoke on that. Once you've agreed to do a swap with that person, set a deadline when you want to have each other's emails by. You can either do it where you want their draft, or you want the final version, or maybe both, but just communicate clearly on when you want to have those articles by. What Aaliyah and I did that worked well was to send each other a draft and allow each other to make edits and revisions. That worked really well. Here's the format that we used for our email. So each of us did an intro for each other. So I started out by saying, like, Aaliyah is a good friend of mine. She's an email marketing specialist. And because she is an expert on this topic, I'm going to let her take it from here. And then she did similar for me. And then I included her article, her full article, and a photo, and then she did the same for me. And at the very end, this is the key part, you want to offer a freebie to allow people from the other person's list to get onto yours and vice versa. This is super important because if you don't do this, then your efforts are going to fall flat, because that's really the point, is to grow your audience by getting them onto your list. So Aaliyah's email was very much information-based. It really showcased her expertise. Mine was more story-based. So there's different ways that you can go about your email, of course. There's no one way to write an email. So just think about what's going to best benefit you in this situation. Once you've approved each other's emails, go ahead and schedule them. You don't have to schedule them to run at the same time. We did. For me, I just thought it would be kind of fun to have them sent at the same time, but you don't have to do that. One thing you could also do is send a test of the final version to the other person so they can give that final approval and just double check that everything is working correctly before it sends out. So then your email sends, and what I would recommend is following up 24 to 48 hours later and just trading some stats to see how each of the emails did. For me personally, when it comes to emails, I want to know how the subject line did, how many click-throughs were there, and then of course on my end I can see the signups, so that's not something that I would need from the other person. And also, I asked her how many signups that she had gotten from the email that I sent, which I don't have access to that information, of course, so I just kind of wanted to gauge that. And as of 24 hours after the email sent, Aaliyah had gotten 14 signups from my list, so that was a really beneficial email swap. So thinking about what I would do differently, I mentioned that Aaliyah's email was very information-based and really highlighted her expertise. Mine was more story-based. And looking back, I think that's one thing that I would do differently, is beef up my email and really showcase my expertise. Yes, Leah was vouching for me by doing the swap. However, this audience had never met me before. This is the first time they're hearing from me, so that's something I probably could have done a little better, was showcase my expertise. You guys, if you have questions, comment. I will be checking back, and I'm always love to answer your questions. Again, if you want that pitch email template, go ahead and DM me. In that template, I'm also including samples of the emails that each of us sent, so you can get the full picture of how that worked. DM me and I'll send that to you. I'm really excited about it. I think this is an awesome resource. So to finish out, I would love to just remind you that the Sugar and Honey Shop Displays Toolkit flash sale is on now through Saturday morning. It's only $25, which is, I think, a steal because there are 72 designs and they're gorgeous. I love them. I've already used them on my office door. Again, these are design files that you can use to create decals and for your window or for like a wall to really spruce up your shop window or shop space. So I will include a link to that in the comments so that you can get over there. That's always helpful, right? So I don't see any comments now. I will let you guys go and I'll talk to you later. Bye.